welcome back everyone, welcome back to another day, another edition here of the CranKy Ducklings. In a sense, welcome to our very first edition of the Galaxy Open Cup Season 1. Of course, just like VIP with me, I'm joined by these amazing players, by the who in chat and by plushies as well. Welcome one and all to something a little bit different, something a little bit special here. Welcome to a new regular tournament series. I say that, we'll still yet to be determined, of course, but shout out to Galaxy. Galaxy, he is a Korean player. He's a returning player. It's been a long time since we've seen Galaxy kind of in the StarCraft 2 scene, but he actually came back, I want to say around a month ago at this point, and was actually competing in our tournaments, did compete, did reach out to cover his own tournament as well, that he was going to be running, that he was going to be hosting, and that's what we're here for, here and now. Now this of course is going to be a replay cast. At the time, I believe this actually clashed with either Duckling Open or Master Swan Open, but it did clash with one of our amateur events, so we weren't able to cover it live at the time, but we are here to cover it via replays. Let's go. Let us go. We're here to cover it via replays, and we have our initial matchup here. We have our PvP. Now, something that I am quite excited by here is that we have herO. herO, he has been very inactive as of late. We have not seen too much from him. Of course, we did cover herO over the weekend during the KSL, during the Korean StarCraft League. But again, outside of that, he hasn't been competing in too many online tournaments. He's been keeping it closer to the chest here. We spoke about this, but there are some players that are being less active in the lead up to EWC to hide certain builds, to hide their practice, to hide their play, and to keep things a little bit different, to keep things a little bit special for that main event, which does begin in a week's time. Straight up, just a week from now, we're going to be live with EWC, so you know we're almost there. We are almost there, but until then, we do have our initial PvP. First, we do have herO versus ReBellioN. They're going to be facing off in that PvP matchup. And here we go, we're getting to our first match, we're getting into our PvP. Game 1 is going to be on Tokamak. Let's go. Jumping into Tokamak here, and again, when it comes to the event itself, we will be catching up on the quarterfinals, then into semis, then into grand finals thereafter. Here we go to get into our initial PvP. And spawning in the bottom right corner, we have our South Korean Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss representing Twisted Minds. It is herO. And spawning in the top right hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the red Protoss player, also from South Korea, representing among SC2 people. It is ReBellioN. We go, and again, it has been far too long since we've consistently covered herO as a player, so I'm excited to see how well he does perform here. Likewise, ReBellioN, he is more of an amateur player, or more of a semi-pro in the scene, devoting a lot of time to SC2, and recently devoting some time to StarCraft Evolution as well. We'll see if he can hold his own as we load into Tokamak. Tokamak, of course, being one of the larger maps in the map pool. As a result, we do often see longer and later games, but specifically in PvP, I feel like that's a little bit less applicable, just because of the warp in and warp gate mechanic. Likewise, because of the proxy locations as well, we do often see a lot of proxies and a lot of all-ins. Oh my god, Nexus first out of ReBellioN. Okay, calm down. Okay, so straight up Nexus first here from ReBellioN, going for a very greedy opener, a very greedy build. Meanwhile, herO himself going for a 2-gate opener, going for a delayed probe scout across the map. Curious here. So first things first, I do actually favor ReBellioN in this position, assuming that herO doesn't probe scout, assuming that herO does not turn this into a one-base all-in, the ReBellioN can get away with quite a lot of greed. As going from Nexus first into double gateway follow-up. Probe scout is going to be coming in, and herO is just chilling. herO, he's just you know, minding his own. His own second pylon has been thrown down. The ReBellioN, he will scout this, and he will be looking pretty good as a result. Should be very happy to see the second pylon further back in the main, more than anything. As we have a Stalker Adept opener. Likewise, yep, ReBellioN does get eyes on the pylon. It's going to be locked into the main base, so outside of a recall, he won't be able to get out, won't be able to block the expansion. But his is already done. The Nexus is already complete. Oh. Smash. TT. As here, yeah, we'll be able to kill the probe and we'll be able to expand from here. TT is like the crying face emoji. For those who are curious, the probe will not get out. And behind this, we do have our double gate opener straight into double stalker. Okay. Also, a big shout out to Obi-Wan Kenobi in the chat. Gab. Oh my god, you were live for quite some time. Jesus. Very long stream, very long ladder session. Hope you had a great time. Welcome one and all to the CranKy Ducklings. Welcome. We are going to be casting a tournament here. We're going to be covering the Galaxy Open Cup Season 1. We're still in our first series. We're in our first PvP. We have more matches ahead of us. Don't you worry. For now, though, we do have a robot follow-up. Meanwhile, herO does come in for the scout. herO, he can compare, of course, the timing with the base with his own, so he knows how quickly this nexus did complete. As herO is still on the way. Back at home, we do have our robot follow-up here at a herO, so going for, I would say, a more defensive follow-up, but I see a third gateway behind this. We can open up War Prism and go across the map and be hyper-aggressive early on. Likewise, herO, he's quite fond of going for a 2-base off of this with a Twilight Council, but there it is. Prism is on the way. herO, he will soon be pushing. And it's going to be up to ReBellioN to survive. To defend, hallucinations the main. Just confirming the tech of choice, it is going to be a Twilight Council opener out of ReBellioN. The cry never stops. Crazy, crazy. Oh. Smoke. Okay, here he does reinforce, he does move out. Unfortunately, ReBellioN is not fully aware of this move, and here he's actually going straight into the main. Yeah, it does go into the main base. So he can force field, he can force field the ramp as well. Outside of a recall, we cannot get into the main base, and there is no recall. Yeah, there is no recall. Pylon's going to be going down. Stalkers, they just cannot attack. They're pinned back. No TPS here out of the Stalkers. Boys are being pulled in a moment of desperation. And once again, another force field. Once again, Stalkers are still pinned behind. Yeah, depowers the gateways, denies blink. And with that, ReBellioN taking an attack with what, 3 Stalkers? Another force field. Calm down. Yeah, Stalkers are just kind of engaged, and with that, here he goes further into the main. Further into the main base. 37 probe kills. Ay. Takes on all the workers. GG gets cool. There's nothing else to defend, and here he will outposition, and he will take game number 1. GG. Whew. Hi. GG, well played. Again, here he will take a lead in the series. Again, ReBellioN, he went for a very greedy start, and unfortunately, after said greedy start, he didn't get eyes on the follow-up. He didn't see the army coming his way. He wasn't quite in position. He did have a semblance of an army at the natural, but unfortunately, he was not ready in the main base. And it can be a kill move going into the main, force fielding the ramp. We've seen even ReBellioN do such a move in the past, even in recent times, actually. Hey, in the StarCraft Evolution League, did something similar against Mang Russell. And unfortunately, the one way to try to counteract that is to try to recall into the main base to reposition your army, but there was no NG in the main nexus, so a recall is not quite available there. Outside of that, I mean, that's game. That's game then and there. GG. With that, herO does take a lead in the series. Now we're jumping to game number 2, going to be loading into ley lines. Let's go. And we'll see if ReBellioN can bounce back. Spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of ley lines, we have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss leading the series 1-0, representing Twisted Minds, and 1 game away from claiming the series. It is herO. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the red Protoss player, the South Korean Protoss, representing among SC2 people down in the series. We'll see if he can bounce back. We'll see if he can force the ace match. It is ReBellioN. go. So we are going to be settling down. Again, last game we did see Nexus first at ReBellioN. This time, Gate first. Thankfully. We're going to calm down. It is going for a gateway first, gate into Cyber to expand, or even just a 2-gate opener. This time is being nowhere near as greedy. Nowhere near. But now herO, second gateway. So 2-gate opener at herO. Meanwhile, we have our 2-gate opener from ReBellioN as well. Mirrored builds. Mirrored builds this time. No one is cutting corners. No one is being too crazy. Here he does move out with his first probe, and it looks like he is contemplating hiding his his second pylon. Okay. I say hide. On the one hand, this is technically herO's side of the map, but it's close enough to still commit to a proxy. So we might double down, and we might even go for a robo alongside this pylon. This is going to be turned down. Cyber is done. Yep, there it is. Proxy robo here out of herO. He's going for the all-in. So he does dip in. Does dip into the bases, does get a full scout. Does confirm that it's a much more standard opener this time out of ReBellioN, which will help ReBellioN for sure. Likewise, ReBellioN also scouts into the main. He also sees that there's only one pylon. He knows that the second pylon is missing. He's looking. You can see he's searching for the pylon. He knows that there's a proxy, but he should never find this. The problem here is that, again, this is a very unusual proxy location because it's so far on herO's side of the map, and the all-in is coming. The Immortals are on the way. Adept getting caught out. ReBellioN, he will hold his own here on top of the ramp. Does get some hull damage. Adept does survive. Ooh, and ReBellioN is expanding. Adept busts into the main, gets 1, gets 2 probes. It gets up to 3. Oh, up to 2. 2 workers who go down. But ReBellioN is still in the dark. He still doesn't know. Again, there's no third gateway. There's no robo. Going for a Twilight Council, that will not help. Oh. ReBellioN is moving out. It's pushing towards the main. I mean, true, you could argue, I mean, he's forcing herO to respond, and herO is ready for it. And he will shut down the Adepts. We'll lose 1 probe in the process, sorry, 2 probes even. 2, oh! Doesn't lose 3. Very nice control by herO. He does juggle, he does save the probe. Now it's time to push. Now it's time to counterattack. Shuts down the initial Adepts. Back at her, we have a 3rd gateway on the way. No defense set up on the low ground. No shield battery. Just now starting. And here comes herO. He has 1, so we get 2 Immortals. 2 Immortals are moving in. He's got his 3 sentries. Aye. Oh. Likewise does force field. It does force field. Despite that, the Prism can just juggle over the wall. And there's nothing here. There's 2 Stalkers, there's 1 Sentry. We do barely warp in 2 more Stalkers, but it's not going to be enough. GG gets called here. He pulls off the 1 base all-in. ReBellioN, unfortunately, with a misread, he never scattered the all-in coming his way, and herO will take the 2-0. GG. GG, well played. Again, ReBellioN, he saw that the pylon was missing, and he knew that there was something out on the map. For all he knew, it could be a proxy Stargate, it could be a proxy gateway, it could be a proxy robo, or it could just be a fake pylon, right? It could just be a pylon with nothing alongside it, and it could just be a standard game as well. So it was a little bit more difficult to read. As we were pointing out, it was a much more peculiar proxy location from herO, further back on his side of the map as well, so it just went unscouted, and ReBellioN got caught with his pants down. GG. GG well played with that herO. He will take the series, he'll advance onto the semifinals, and we are going to be jumping into our next matchup here into a Terran versus Protoss between Ryung and Cristiano. Oh boy.